Hello and welcome. Right, we are finally getting back round to the building aspect of things with regards to this. So we are there or thereabouts in the process of finishing the Charizard shaft. Then we have got to make Blastoise up and Charizard itself. So we've got plenty of different bits and pieces to think of and consider and all that kind of thing. So hopefully everybody is fit and well today. I'm not too sure why that light's so bright. I need to turn that down, blinding myself. So there's a poll running as normal, and it's do the Miniland scenario. Now, I've been looking around and thinking, well, do we put the UCS Venator up on the Miniland section, which is actually the correct scale, because it's just a big model rather than an actual minifigure thing? But then do we put up the eyeball where the Daily Bugle is and move the Daily Bugle the other side of the Avengers Tower, because it might fit? So it's food for thought over the live stream. If not, we'll figure out what it is. So yes, and it's move up a level. Yes, no, try something else first. Simple and as easy as that. So we've got plenty of things to consider and do. Right, you know what I'm going to be doing up on the Lego website? We're going to see if there's anything new first, because there is talks of the new Jurassic Park set. John, good afternoon or morning to you, sir. Everything is okay. Is the new Jurassic Park set on the website, yes or no? If it is, it'd be the first time you're actually seeing it, because it wasn't before. There, you got some fancy Crocs for you, John, if you want some new Crocs. Jay has just written he generally can't get it in. Jay's bought a box and he hasn't got enough room to get it through the front door into the house because of the angle of the walls. No measurement, Jay. No measurement. So I want continuous updates with how you're getting on. Have they not added it yet? They haven't. So they've done the teaser video on the actual Instagram page. I'm assuming soon it'll be on there. So I want to know what size and scale it is, because it's the petrol Jeep from the original Jurassic Park. So afternoon to Reese. Jay, I generally can't get it in. And Reese, good afternoon. So there we go. So we are waiting for this new thing from them. Right, so I need the instruction booklet on here. Of course, you know the rules of engagement on a Friday. You let me know what you guys and girls are thinking of building this weekend. I'll whack it up onto the Lego website, and then we can just crack on and go from there as and when required. What is the set number? Well, I've moved the box, and I can't actually see what the set number is. Oh, hang on. It's not started off well. What is the set number? 72153. There it is. So 3. So I'm hoping that it should just take us to the exact same part of the shaft that we were on. Get this little bit done, and then we can crack on and keep going, as long as it loads in the correct bits. Loading. Looks like it's going to. Is it going to get in there? Yeah, there we go. Right, we are living the dream. There we go. Magic stuff. So I'm going to be having this in the background so you know where we're at. That's the pieces of where we're up to at the moment. That's smaller. So let us know what it is that you guys and girls are doing and building. This is obviously what we've done so far with regards to the bases. And this is going to be our big Miniland display where we've got we had 4 tables of space. 2 base plates going to be for NASA. Then we've got like a Super Mario section, Pokemon section at the front. Then we've got lots of space behind for different options. So we just got to figure out and think exactly what everything is about. But this is where we're at the moment. Jay has just said there's absolutely no way of getting it in without moving 12 full Calyx cubes. And they're full as well, may I add. I know they're full. So you're going to be busy, Jay. You're going to be busy. That tape measure should have come out, and you should have pre-planned this. You knew it was never going to go. I'm just glad for once something has actually gone wrong for you, because normally it's me. Normally it's like, oh, something will go wrong, and Jay's now experiencing basically what happens to me on a daily basis, and it's now finally, for once, it doesn't go smoothly for Jay, because all I get is grief. Oh, I can fit this in. It's in by a stud, not off by a stud. Oh, this fits. I haven't got a problem with ceiling. Yada, 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 yada. Ryan says, put the Tintin rocket in the mainland. Will it suit? I haven't got a clue what Tintin is, Ryan. Not got a clue. No idea. Reese says sounds like the window's coming out. Yes, he's got a big. I'll show the box. I can show you the size of Jay's box and his predicament at the moment. Luckily, it's not raining, otherwise he would be screwed. Oh, it's a video. He sent me a video. Can I mute it? Don't want to show the rest of his house off. Hang on. No, don't want that one. Don't want the new one. It's the first one. That one's safe to show. Yes, that one's safe to show. No address on there or anything. So yeah, that's Jay's predicament at the moment. That's one big box. See? Jay's stuck at the moment trying to get a box inside his front door. Oh, it sucks to be you for a change. Right, so we are doing what we're doing. So we got to crack on with this. This is where we are at. So we just put this bottom panel, I do believe, on. It's going to come back and bite me though, because I know I'm going to get all of this wrong. So we've done 194 and we're on to step 195 right now. So Reese, are you going to be attacking your A-frame? John, have you finished your space creature? And is it people are a fan of the new Tintin? And what do you think of this new Jurassic Park Jeep that they have? Well, they've shown it. It's just they haven't actually put the images up on the Lego website yet. So I'll check again at 4 o'clock. So they tend to do that kind of thing. They tend to put it up about at 4 because they're an hour ahead, aren't they? So 5 o'clock, they go home and it'll be the last thing that gets uploaded. I would like to know the actual scale of it because, well, they put it on the seat of a Jeep and those seats are absolutely massive. So if it comes with a plaque and plinth, do I have a representation of that in the theme park? Who knows? I've got plenty of space, but it's just trying to make it out what will work in the best order of everything. Yeah, Ryan, I've never seen an episode of my life. I've got a clue what Tintin is. I've been told I haven't got no idea. I didn't really grow up with many cartoons when I was younger, so no, Tintin for me is not a thing. Thunderbirds, on the other hand, absolutely. But Tintin, I did a bit of research, know when that set's from, but no, never seen it, heard it, nothing. It's bad, isn't it? Really, really bad. I know. But I'm sure people will be excited and thrilled. And it's two base plates in length with a very, very wide base on it as well. So it's a very chunky thing. That'd look nice for your Willy Wonka, I would assume. So I'm sure some people are going to be ecstatic for that. But I think this is definitely going to be impossible to actually not have this attached, I would say. Shocking. Yeah, I know. It's bad, isn't it? It's bad. But this is your base, and that's the ugliness of what it looks like. They try to cover it on the bits and the other sides, but there's no real way you can have this not attached as a three-way, so it's going to have to be stuck as a three-way. I think. Right. So that's the bit that we are doing. What is the rest of these for? Because there's always going to be something that was missed from the time before, and I'm assuming it's from the very, very first one that we put on. I would think. So I've not done any building up here whatsoever. So which panel is that one? Is it on the base? Can't be that hard, can it? Can't be that hard. Let me just make sure everything is good. What's the end result look like? What does that end result look like? That's that one. There's another one behind it. magic stuff. Right there. We go. Good. Got ya and found you. There we go. All bits are now accounted for. That was a double skin. I got carried away. But we are back at it. No, good. Okie dokie. So that's the next bag. That's bag done. That was the last of that bag to do. So we are moving on to, what bag are we on to next? 57 is what we're at to next. Bag number 57. Still part of the base, and then we'll go all the way back to the Blastoise box, and then we'll crack on with that. So there's some bits and pieces. Wow. Well, we've learned the reason why, and I guess I just won't mention your name. Maybe I'll just call you JP. Maybe that'll work. Maybe we can trick it. I still think anybody that's got like a Google box or anything that listens, it's probably something to do with that. Because it's nothing from my end. There should be no way that should be happening. But it selects one person, apparently. So it's never Reese. So times 2 points supposedly is in a few months, I think. No, I've started to tidy up here. I was down there. I was going to say, I've started to tidy up in here, and I've not brought the thing back up. So it's just over there. So the floor's all nice and clean-ish to a point. But we've now got two mini bags. So I think it's the first time we've had 2 mini bags, to be honest. But yeah, so with regards to the pole and the mini-land scenario, because the Venusaur is the only one that would act as a thing, it would fit at the back. Because if we put, like I said, if we put the eyeball up beside the Avengers Tower, the Daily Bugle would just go where the t'other thing is anyway. And then because this is so long, it would nose to the Colosseum is the thought process for that. And then we just put all the other models in front of it. But it is the only one that would work there. None of the others would. So it's just in the extra space. It's not doing anything at the moment. Missed bricks together. How are we? Hopefully everything is okay. So what's on everybody's agenda for today? Well, obviously some of you guys are finishing work and some of you guys are just waking up to start it, I would imagine. So hopefully everything is all good. But yeah, I think a lot of people might be picking up Tintin in double points potentially. Like I said, it's not my sort of thing. Right, it's just gone 4 o'clock, which means have they uploaded that image? Let's have a look together, shall we? Have they just added the new set? It's around this time that they do it. So have they done it for us? And when's it coming out? That's the question. When is it going to be next month, or is it about a mile away? There's your Crocs, more Crocs, more Crocs. No, we'll look at all of them later. Mario, we've seen. No, unless it's after the pre-order. Still not added it. What is the SKU number? Maybe I have to type it in so I can find it. Because last time they did this, they had the waving finger for a while, didn't they? Where you weren't allowed to witness it. So where's the Lego? Have they given us the thing? What I want is a SKU number, to type the SKU number in. Bring an icon back. Yeah, great. But what is the number? Right, hang on. We'll find it. This is gonna annoy me otherwise. Lego. It's officially been revealed on the Hoth Bricks coming in with the win. So what is it? It's 77984 is the number. So is it on the Lego website? 77984. Ah, no. Is that the box artwork? Have we found it? Well, this is it. This has been officially announced as of half an hour ago, if anybody cares. 1,924 pieces, item number 77984. So I don't know if you're a fan of that or not, but it is there for anybody that wants it. And we'll be taking a good look at that later on. This is going to get the images up for over the weekend, aren't they? It does make you wonder what else they're going to upload. It does make you wonder. Right. I need to go back over to my instructions, which is these. Shut that down, get that gone, and I can see everybody again. So 3, 2, 1, good afternoon to you. How are we? Yeah, probably well over halfway, Reese. It's literally just ticking over with it, because the base has, I think the base for Blastoise has more parts than actual Blastoise. This thing here was mega. This thing was huge. But I don't think Charizard's got that many bags. So don't know. We don't know when it is, Reese. The images, it's on Lego's own Instagram page now. It got uploaded about 20 minutes ago. I'm assuming it's going to be the same time. It's going to be next month, I would imagine. But then saying that, the One Piece set is 5 months away. So figure that out. Yeah, see, you can't just come back in after a long week like that, 3, 2, 1, and just go, you know what, it would look good with a big T-Rex. Because the Triceratops is going to be coming soon as well, isn't it? That's at a much better price point, because it's a much smaller thing, isn't it? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it's all about, to be fair, and just because from going by that box very well, going by what I saw on the Lego thing, it looks like it's just got a larger sign as well, because obviously they've done this set in almost like a Lego city scale before, haven't they? So this is literally a display piece. That's what that is. That's what that is. What have we got? No, I haven't got access to it yet. I haven't got access to Netflix, so I will try and watch it at some point. I binge watched the first series. I thought that was good. I don't know how many more sets we're going to get from the Lego group. I know the Going Merry and the restaurant are not retiring this year, whereas all the others are. So the smaller play sets, I'm assuming, going to get tag teamed out, and then we'll have access to a few of the other bits, won't we? But that's the thing. Yeah, the big T-Rex retires in December. Yeah, that's it. So 3, 2, 1 saying the big T-Rex December, and yeah, luckily I've got it, so I don't mind. That big T-Rex is a gorgeous thing. I've now officially got a space just there underneath the table, 9 base plates, and I've got the Jurassic Park gates with the gardens, with the big T-Rex and the haunted house, and I can extend that once I make a little bit more space over this weekend. And we are laughing. It's taken ages to actually get to that point. But no, we've made a little bit of space for it all, which is good. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, so some of the bigger One Piece set stuff you've got until just over a year's time, and then the smaller stuff you have. I know there's obviously we've got the Gumbum, we've got the other bits and pieces. Are you going to get any of those brick together? Yeah, so you've got at least a year for the Going Merry, and obviously the Going Merry minifigures are perfect. And I like the fact it's got the little tree with it. I thought that was a nice little touch. So I didn't understand what that was all about until I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But in all fairness, they do give you a strong minifigure selection in both, which is quite nice because it's one of those where they could have done you dirty and made you buy multiple sets to collect the whole team, and you didn't have to, which was good. Yeah, that's it. The sales on in the UK at the moment. That's why we're going to be doing the sale research later on. There's already a second live stream planned for this evening. I cannot believe how naughty the sales are in the UK at the moment. So I mean, we say this to John all the time. Like, I don't know if Royal knows that we have so many sales over here, but the Winnie the Pooh stuff that came out 13 days ago is already in a sale. So there's two things to look. There's two ways to look at it, and we're not going to speak about the one way and the reason why. Let's just hope they put it up in a sale just to go up against Amazon because we got the spring collection. That's all we need to think of. We don't want to think of the other way, because if it is the other way, then what's going to happen is it's going to slingshot back the other way, and they're going to do a price increase, aren't they? So, but yeah, we've got Smith's, loads of deals. Argos have good deals on at the moment. John Lewis has good deals on at the moment. Some of the shopping places like our supermarkets have them. I would imagine Costco might be Costco might be a strong one for everywhere in the UK and America as well, maybe for stuff that's in a sale. But it's quite surprising to see Winnie the Pooh in the sale already. But I think it might just be because Amazon has done their thing, because don't forget, a couple of people got both of the Lord of the Rings sets, massive savings off, and of course that still again did not happen in America. So Bricks Together can take a sigh of relief after buying the Rivendell, because we did think, oh, let me guess, you're going to buy it, and it's no, it didn't. So it still hasn't done it yet. Jay still stood in his doorway trying to get a box through. We do want live commentary, Jay, to be honest. We do want to know your struggles. And I can't keep a straight face. Knowing how out of breath and how angry this person's going to be for not being able to get the box through the front door, I am quite smug just sat here putting this together, because it could easily have been me. Could it easily have been me? Doesn't it, John? Yeah, they've got some big. That's weird, isn't it? Big. They've got massive pallets of it over this way. And I mean, like normally in the UK, say for example, Speed Champion sets and all of the sort of, nothing's at a lower price point now, because obviously everything's expensive, but they're already in a sale at Costco. I do believe it was it the Viking set that came out day one in a sale in about 3 different places as well. So it's not unusual now around in the UK. They just literally everything just gets thrown straight into a sale. I think also because of how Lego are doing such a long pre-order on everything, the other companies are then just dumping it straight into a sale just to try and mix and match it up. So yeah, it's a scary thing at the moment. Yeah, it's nuts. But because Reese, are you still umming and ahhing about the eyeball? Because we'll yeah, I said get Matt off the stream and get him to do it. Well, that's why I'm just sat here smug, because I'm like, oh, just as well I started the stream. Otherwise, I'd have come all the way up to you with the traffic, mind. It'd have been about 4 years before I even got to you. Oh, funny. But yeah, it's big sales, because Ultra Bricks got Rivendell and Baron d'Or with big savings off for both of those, obviously. So that's scary. It just happens to be yours. So that sucks. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the sets themselves. It's always unusual IPs, I find, at certain places that always go into these sort of sales. So, and it's normally now it's the stuff that goes into a sale where Lego has it on pre-order for so long. So yeah, we'll just have to see it from that way. But when Amazon do what they do, it doesn't have to put the pressure on everybody else, because they've all got to come up with different bits. I think Lego just randomly did that weird ×4 points on a selective few sets, just to basically be like, yeah, we know this stuff's not selling very well, but You can have this if you want it. And then all of the others are going, well, Amazon's doing this, so we better do this, this, and this. So yeah, not fun at all. Well, I would have thought that would have made perfect sense, Jay, because you could have literally just unboxed it completely, couldn't you, and just put it straight on the shelf? Because surely it's going to have a little bit of polystyrene on the outside. Yeah, so I guess depends who's got what contractually and whatever else. So, yeah, I would say that's probably the better thing to do, Jane. Just open it completely. Just open it and just take it straight up into the Lego room. You said you've made space for it, so it should just go straight in. In he goes on the shelf. You live in the dream. Thanks very much. 10, 11. Oh, what is that one? Because if you took it out completely, you'd be able to get it up your staircase as well, wouldn't you? Otherwise, it's still going to be, the box is going to be a right pain in the backside. Yeah, all good fun with that. But again, there's lots and lots of layering and detailing going on with this thing. But because it's, oh, I don't want to do that. Because it's a lot of grey on grey. It's quite simple to move because the orange is easy enough to see where it stands out. But because it's a lot of grey on grey on grey on grey, it's a little bit... Just got to triple check everything. I'm definitely sure that there's supposed to be something there, which there is. And there's supposed to be something on the other side, which there is. Well, that's very true, Ryan. They did do Willy on ×4, but it's now only on ×3. So you got the best deal you could have possibly got with that, I think, because I would have thought they'd have put it straight back to ×4, but maybe it's selling better now. It's on the retiring list, and people are thinking, oh, hang on, they need a Willy in their life, and that's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to be coming into, because there'll be a lot of people wanting a lot of different sets, and obviously we know there's so many sets retiring. We know there is. So it's always a difficult one to get it right. Always a difficult one to get it right. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's take that up. Perfect. Yeah, because the Goonies is a good one. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know if anybody's been lucky enough to see the Goonies boat built, but again, those photos on the Lego website do not do it justice for just how big that thing is. It's very, very surprising how big it is. Yeah, I got to be honest. I think Jay's stressing so much he's not going to be able to come back to some of these cards. He's going to have to catch back up. So basically, he's got the cat's layer thing, and it's just a massive box that you can't get through the front door. The set itself will fit through the front door. He just needs to actually unbox it where it is, and then just put the set in to take it all the way up the stairs. But I did have this conversation with him. How big is the box? And he personally told me it'll be fine. So yeah, it's weird though, isn't it? Because with the Goonies, that's one of them that was like, I think people split on. Some people like the original and some people like the current one, because I think the end result for the current Goonies is really very good. But other stuff from the Lego Ideas banner, it's literally, they are saying now, well, you can clearly tell that it's just an idea of a concept and they're just changing it. But don't forget with Tintin, they've taken away the stand, like the thing it flies off from, and added loads of minifigures. So they've tweaked it. They've tweaked it accordingly. But no, the Goonies, very, very good looking. It's a really impressive looking thing. And again, with like the Enterprise, I still can't get over how amazing that looks in person. But then there's other sets you go and see, and I'm like, I've done it before. I always want to have a look at the sets first before I get them, because I'm tight for space up here and whatever else. And I have literally just gone, oh, nothing what I thought it was, and just sort of walked away. I've been really disappointed with some. So yeah, it's very hit and miss with regards to certain stuff that they do from time to time. But what's all this going on? Oh, have I got this? So I've got. The hell is going on here? I've got 5 pins holding this one piece up. That's 5 more pins than what you get on a flipping 8080. This is the only thing that's winding me up about this. I get flashbacks from that 8080 going, why? I mean, look how strong that is. And John can verify for me, there's no way I could pick up an 8080 like this. Look, the piece that I've just put on is holding the whole thing together. Mad. What else is it? Yeah, they do all different bits, don't they? They do obviously profits, and then they do all sorts of other bits and pieces in it. Make sure everything's sort of, I guess, more easy playable, and I guess it's the end user as well, isn't it? Because that's the big thing that they do on Bricklink. They've got to make sure that all the instructions are user friendly, and they've got to do. I tell you what, they don't have to turn it around in a quick time for the Bricklink stuff. So you think like 6 months and it's at your door, but those instructions haven't even been put together yet. So somebody somewhere has to come up with a better way of putting it together, which is more user friendly, and get them printed and get them shipped out within 6 months. That's not too bad going if we think of the day and age that we're in. Yeah, there we go. See, John agrees with me. So this is the crazy thing. Like, I mean, I could literally pick this up whichever way I want, and nothing's falling off. But there is 5 Technic pins at the top, again, just holding on that one piece on the one side. So this is definitely much sturdier than previous stuff. So hopefully that'll carry on into anybody that wants a UCS sets in the future. Because, yeah, there is no way it should be as bad as what it is. No way. Unless you've glued the set together, I think that's what people have done. But again, if you're not a fan of these bases or not, the lava technique's quite cool, because you've got a couple of the different like cheese slopey bits, and I didn't realize it was such small panels. Big pieces, small panels. So that's why it's so sturdy, because every single one of them is on solidly. So I guess it needs to be sturdy because of who sat right up its backside, but it's certain stuff that we've all built is just absolutely terrible, and other stuff not so much. So I understand what people, because obviously we all listen to different people, and you know, the guys and girls that get the sets early. And I know you've got to take it with a pinch of salt with people that affiliated it, because obviously I suppose they can't say everything that they're thinking about. But the only thing that's wrong with this is the little gap that's on its back hip. Everything else is absolutely fine. It's just maybe they should have used a blue connection pin on the inside. But I haven't built the others, so I don't know what the others are like. Yeah, they do, John. But we had a lot of the designers in, and they will redo it. So they basically give them like a rough understanding of how it all goes back. But they've still got to because that's why some of the designers won't sell the instructions, because it takes them so long to actually put it on rebrickable. So because it's obviously it's a big process, isn't it, to get those in and get it all right. And I can imagine trying to get things built in the correct order So I'm assuming that they've got multiple testers to build the sets to make sure that, you know, stages haven't been missed. Some things slip through the net, it always does, but it's still a very quick turnaround. Still a very, very quick turnaround. But there is some cool software that you can use now. So yeah, it'd just be interesting to see. Oh well, yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, I could not fathom. Can you imagine, like, if you are skilled enough just to make your own mock and then go, I need to sell the instructions? You'd be like, how the hell do you even start? That is madness. It's like, oh yeah, because they've also got to be to a certain standard for rebrickable. Otherwise, people wouldn't buy them, would they? I guess that's also another thing that everybody forgets when they go to download the instructions, and it's, say, $10 or whatever it is, and people kick off at the price because it's $10 on top of all the parts that you need to buy. Some poor sausage is sat there probably for about 3 weeks just trying to put some instructions together for everybody else. Yeah, mad. All right, what we got? So in case anybody is giving the monkeys, we are on step 221 is where we're at the moment, and then we can start the actual models themselves, which I am very much looking forward to doing. I'm sure that Jay is still swearing in the background, not being able to get this box in. And more than likely, the box isn't going to go where he thinks it's going to go anyway. There's no way he's probably going to get that up in the loft. So, yeah. It's a fruity thing. Oh, yeah, that, no, yes. Yeah, I can see you guys talking about the instructions. It's a clever system that they put up together for that. And the new, is it 11? Series 11, you can already, the palette stuff's there, so you can already start to design your bits. So that's already started. So 10 gets announced next week, and obviously we won't get that until 28. And 11, you've got 40 days, I think. So and also don't forget, I would imagine, because it says that there's a list of parts that they can use, potentially they will change the type of parts usage that they can use depending on the series. So that's why maybe sometimes we don't always get this. We don't always see the same designs all the time through that Bricklink thing. So I've not created an account to download the sheet to see what part usage that they're allowed to do. So I find that quite interesting that they are saying, yeah, you can do this. They were told with the minifigures, weren't they, what they weren't allowed to do. Hence why there was no Lion Knight stuff, for example, because they were told for the medieval castle, no, you can't do X, Y, Z. So definitely moving away from that this year. Reese is coming in with the emojis. Has he found some? Yeah. Yeah, put the Pokemons back in for this one. The Lego head will be back for the next one, Reese. Don't panic. Nobody used that in the last one. I was quite surprised. I thought I found quite a good thing, but nobody used it. Nobody cared. So is anybody thinking of getting any sets, or is everybody just going to hold fire now? Are we just all going to be sensible and wait for a couple of weeks so we know what's going on? Or are people going to try and get a few sets in case things change? Or what's everybody's thought process moving forward for the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks? Has anybody got any plan in place? Yeah, that's it. So they do limit the people to what they can do. So it's they know they're clever with that as well. So yeah, Series 11 is on here. So what they've got up is for Series 11, it starts all over again. So you've got countdowns on for Series 11, and it gives you a selected palette. You've got 38 days to get your design in, and then that's it. So 38 days for this. It's all there for you to read. These rules are designed to help your model pass smoothly through the review process while avoiding common safety, stability, and building experience issues we've seen in past submissions. They won't mess around. We're not here to reject great ideas over small issues, but submission period gives us time to review your model and collaborate with you on any fixes. So don't hold back. Send your best builds without worrying, and we will reject it over minor details. So there you go. Look. So Series 10 update. And it's got all of these bits and pieces in. See the table for minifigure count limits based on your part count. Skeletons do not count as minifigures. So this is something I've never clicked on. So if you're between 400 to 650, you can have 3 figures. And then if you're up to 4,000, you can have a maximum of 14. And then you've got the design in studio, set file up in Brittany Designer Program, parts selection, part usage, stability, minifigures, stickers. Yeah, because it says, note, building instructions will be redesigned by the LEGO graphic designer. So your instructions are build flow only, not visual layout. So they will redo it in a way that it's suitable for people like me that dribble. But no, I think the whole turnaround of the Bricklink stuff fascinates me how quick it is. Yeah, I think it makes sense, brick together. I think we all think now that's probably the best way to do it. So I think going by what people are doing with the Amazon sale, we're potentially getting bits and pieces before anything happens price related, which makes sense. Other people are just going to go hold fire and just wait and see. Other people do a lot of mocks and everything else. So yes, we've all got plenty of bits, haven't we? So we can just sort of plod along for the next few months and just see what's going on. I mean, there's no harm really just downloading a set of instructions on Rebrickable, taking a set apart and then just rebuilding it completely different. Like the Disney Castle, you could just take apart and redo that as a store. I know you can do different things with Ninjago and all the other roller coasters, like the modulars you can take apart and redo. Ultra Bricks, good afternoon to you. 321 got Thunderfang. Very nice. So yeah, there's some nice all of you guys and girls have got backlogs and whatever else, and it's just a case of being as sensible as possible at the moment. I think that is going to be the case, and just wait and see what happens. Right, that is 227, and it just goes nowhere. So 228, we're carrying on. Has both your packages arrived back together? Because Bricks Together was the one that got a major haul on the Amazon sale, and that's going to keep you extremely busy for a long time to come. Long time to come. Well, the good thing about those upscaled minifigures is that if they are going to release any more, you know that they're going to be around for a while. So, you can just be more selective when you can get the bits and pieces. And as I know, John's got a lot of them. I don't know if thinking of the Vader or not, John. Apparently that's a rumor, isn't it, to be coming out. I think it's £10 more, the Vader. That's your Disney tax for you. So yeah, I think so. I think that's the way to look at it. Yeah, that's the way to look at it. You just go as long as you can find the instructions on as long as you can find the rebrickable instructions of a set, not ones that need multiple sets, so it's just literally a strip down and redo, I think that would be a good thing to do for a long period of time. Nobody, I don't think, Ultra Bricks at the moment. We're just saying about the rebrickable stuff, and it might be, what might be worth building on there with current sets. Because let's be honest, we've had some of the sets that you guys and girls. I'm the same with the modulars, but you've had them on display for ages. You've never looked inside them. I bet you've got minifigures that are in there that you've completely forgotten about. There'd be no harm just stripping some of them down, rebuilding them as a rebrickable mock for $5 or $10, no extra pieces whatsoever, and then have it for a few months and then just rebuild it back. There's no harm in doing that at all. Yeah, I think from what I've heard, it's £10 more. So you're just paying the Disney tax, I think. So that's all it is. Exactly the same scale. But that's all I've heard. I've not actually seen it, and that's what people have been telling me. So it could be miles off on that one. Because I would imagine we might get another one at Christmas. I don't know if we're getting an elf, or we might get Mrs. Claus or something like that. Because let's be honest, the Santa was, well, that sold like hotcakes, didn't it? $40 more. Yeah, that should be. Yeah, that'd be, maybe it's £20 more then. Because I know the pound to the dollar's obviously completely changed again now, so could well be. But the joys. Yeah, 100. Joyful. Yeah, that's thanks very much to Disney. You can give somebody a kiss and a cuddle. That works for them, because it is outstandingly expensive how much extra all of that stuff is. It's terrifying, really. Terrifying. But at the same time, it might look quite nice. And I'm assuming it's going to have a really big cloth cape, you would imagine, which would probably look like a big old curtain. But they're going to be spitting those out for a while, I would assume. Who have we got? Pink. Let's have a look. Does anybody know if the new F1 helmets would scale with the upscale? Okay, no, I don't think it will. Well, let's have a look, because you can see what they look like with the actual minifigures. We can smash this up on the screen now. Imagine it would be the same size helmets and all, like the heads and things. So if you've seen how big those are, it'll be close. You might be able to get it on top of the rate if that's what you're thinking, but I just don't know how much it's built underneath. Because if you think of how the stand goes in, I don't know if it's pinned in, because I don't know if that bit just here, look, underneath the helmet, if it sits on it, or it's got a Technic pin on the inside. But it could be close, because the full height of it's only 7 inches. So obviously a base plate's 10. But they don't give you a width. That'll be the concern. Is it wide enough to go over the minifigure's head? Because they're quite big heads, aren't they, on those? But no, it's a fair shout. I mean, I haven't got one to hand. I've got the only like head thing that I've got is like the Iron Man helmet, and I'm assuming that they're going to be there or thereabouts the same size of those. And even the Iron Man helmet, I would be thinking it might be high enough, but I don't know if it'd be wide enough to get his head through the hole. Let's have a look. F1 upscale, because that would be a really nice. That'd be a nice thing too. You might be able to customize one, because if you can customize, I don't know if you could just use the helmet that's already on it because we couldn't quite figure out if the visor had new pieces. They look like they are, but obviously all the heads are exactly the same size, aren't they? But how tall are these? So I'm looking at the Santa one now, and I can never remember for the life of me how tall it is. So that's 10 inches in total. So if that's 10 inches in total, and the helmet is 7 inches with the stand, then no, I wouldn't think it would. However, you might be able to mock it, but the only problem is it'll be the sticker, because there's a lot of them on there. So no, maybe this will be, maybe it's not wide enough, but too tall. It just depends on obviously the internal. That is a really solid question though, Pink. Absolutely. Because what helmet were you thinking of putting on there? Not that it makes a difference, exactly the same. And I would imagine that they are going to be releasing a fair few of these over a period of time. And I don't know if anybody caught it, but they actually did do a life scale version of that as well. So they did have both of the drivers walking around with the actual full size helmet, and that did look pretty cool. But if they ever did anything like that, that would be astronomical amount of money. There we go. So see, that's facts that I don't know. So John said that the head. No, looking at it, I wouldn't think it would, to be fair. I wouldn't think it would. I think it would just be it's definitely going to be it's going to be too high. It's obviously the shape of the Ferrari helmet. If you look at it side on, I think height is just going to be too big. And then we just don't know about the width, because some of them are narrow and high, aren't they? But that's your 2 bits. That's what you're looking at. But they've definitely got new visor elements on there, because we were trying to work out if they were individual visors or not. And it was Sean, I do believe, spotted something in the middle. I don't know if it was Hamilton's visor or Charles. So let's just have a quick. Is it that one? Or was it on Hamilton? We can't quite work out. We'll go on Hamilton as well. This line that's smack in the middle, you can't really see it, but just there, we don't know if that's a split visor, because that piece would be too big. So I'm assuming that is two elements. But I think it shows up better on Hamilton. Balls. Oh, calm down. There we go. Does it? Yeah, it does. But I don't know if that is the back plates or the visor, because it looks like it's the back plate at the back, but then this bit at the front I'm confused with. So I don't know if it's just a bad render. Not that it makes a difference, but if you do need to customize your helmet for it, then you potentially could do. Yeah, so maybe what you could do is actually customize a figure to fit in it. Because if you could make the figure bigger, because it's the upscale racing driver that you want. The problem is, again, it's the stickers and everything on the chest, isn't it? Yeah, you're going to struggle, which is a shame. It would look nice with it, though. It wouldn't look. I don't think it would look out of place as a display combination, but yeah, I don't think it would work. Not especially not that photo. And then you've got that. So no. It's a good idea. It's a hell of a question as well. I'm sure a lot of people will be thinking, oh, Jay has what? He's done what? Let me go back up. It took him an hour and he's entered, has he? Hour and he's in. What have you done? Oh, there we go. He's got it through the door. He's in. That's it. All that drama. You can't even see it, can you? There we do is take it out the shipper box. He's made it in through his front door. There it is. The cat's lair has entered his house. All he's got to do now is carry it up the stairs, which, going by the second photo that I'm not going to show, looks harder said than done at the moment. So that'll be your next challenge, Jay. Good luck to you and your spine. I don't think I would, Ryan, to be quite honest. No. I don't think I would. I'm not. I mean, are you talking about the square head one? Is that the one that you're talking about? Trying to think if that is the set that's the set you're talking about. Right. That is, if you're talking about the square head Harry Potter car, no. I would say that is an easy pass. I'm still very confused why they did that. I still don't know. Somebody will love it, and that's fair enough. But it's still a bit of an odd choice, especially when the Lego City scale car that they did, which was $7.99 now. The 2 minifigures, that is spot on. It's a nice little vehicle, that. But I don't quite understand the rest and the joys of everything. I don't get paid the big bucks, Ryan, I'm afraid. So I can't. I don't even think. To be fair, I don't actually think I'd do it for charity. So the question is, would you tattoo the Bricklink logo onto my lower back for the Harry Potter flying car, even for charity, Ryan? I don't think so. I don't think so. I would do a lot for charity, and I have in the past. But I don't think I would want that on there. I don't actually think I would even do just a transfer sticker for like a couple of days. You know, the ones that start to crumble off because you just have an itchy ass cheek for days and days and days and days. But I mean, you could if you want to. I mean, you could try it, Ryan. I mean, you were the one that jumped at Willy Wonka on times 4 points, and obviously we've got different people in at the moment. So what is your Wonka collection up to? So the Oompa Loompas, how many Oompa Loompas have you got in your collection? And the Oompa Loompa as the emoji is currently resting at the moment because I put the Pokemon ones in there, and they will be making a return later on. But you must, I think you probably now have the largest collection in the world, I would say, which is impressive. There you go. That's the next pins on there. That is extremely sturdy, which is nice. So I'm assuming that box is going to be your dinner table. I mean, is that box realistically going to fit in your loft, Jay? Or is that another problem? Because that is what I did ask the question. And I do believe also when I said I could give you a bigger loft hatch, absolutely no need, apparently. No need for that. I do not need a larger loft hatch. All right, fair enough. And here we are. Having a conversation about is now your loft hatch going to be big enough because you keep buying bigger and bigger sets. Oh, goes underneath. Where does that go? 236 as well, math. 236, 237. 37, 38. What is going on? Oh, that is right. It steps onto it, does it? Say so. I'm just dribbling quickly, as we tend to do from time to time. All of that is good. All of that is good. That is not going to work. In the wrong place. All right. Catch up with the chat and I'll figure out what I've done. There's something not right. Let's not measure our success by the magic of umpers. Well, you've got a lot of them. Well, that is a new problem for a new day for Mr. Joe's Toy Collection UK. The box is so big, you can't even do it. Take care, Brick. Is Brick Together going? I'm not too sure. I think so. Right, Brick Together. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm assuming you're off to work, so hopefully it all goes tickety-boo. Two, three. Well, yeah, that's it. You might just have to get rid of the box, Jay. You might have no choice. You might just have to never sell it. That might have to be your sacrifice. Never to be sold. What's underneath that? Why can't I get this bit off? Oh, that'd be why. I'm like, it's not fitting in. I put it in, it's just not clipped in. Oh, the pins have done me dirty. And I need to get it off. And I can't get it off. Come on, do not break. Do not break. Oh, there it is. Simple. Something like that going, well, why is that not working? Put something in wrong? No. The pins are so strong. There it is. Did that again? It has. Ooh. I have an interesting problem. Why can't I get that in flush? Come on then. Come on then. Oof. Tight. Tight is what that is. Get in. So what, I'm not complaining about that. That is so sturdy. That was actually difficult to actually take the thing apart. Let's have a look. What's going down? I see. Good idea. Does everyone keep their Lego boxes? I'm running out of room where I store them, so I'm thinking of getting rid. Oh yeah, I flat pack all of mine as well. Yeah, exactly same as John. So they've got the new style lids now, which are a bit of a pain in the backside, but they also flat pack much better, and they can flat pack into themselves. So yeah, for all the more expensive stuff like the modulars and all that kind of stuff, I've kept the boxes for. All the Lego City type bits and pieces, like the vehicles and things, I've just recycled all those boxes. I've kept all the instructions just in a clear tub as well, but eventually they might end up going, like some of them will go, and I'll keep the eventually I'll probably only keep the instruction booklets for the sets that I've got. But I've got instruction booklets from like the late 90s, all mint condition, so it's quite cool to look back at them from time to time. But no, for the bigger stuff, all flat packed, and that way you can just it doesn't take up any room then. So yeah, that's the better way of keeping them. That's a better way of keeping them safe. So no, that's a good bit of advice from John on that one. Absolutely right. That is obviously an open question to everybody. What does everybody else do with their boxes? Because we all keep these things and we don't understand really. We don't know why we do until it comes to the point of actually getting them sold, I guess. And you think, oh yeah, that's the reason why I kept them. But deep down, you don't really want to sell them, do you? So yeah, I've kept all. John says kept all the instructions. I keep all of mine as well. But now I've got into the habit of using the Lego website more and more for the instructions. It's just a lot easier for me to build in here with them. Yeah, it's good advice from John. Just keep the larger sort of higher value items. Definitely. And then yeah, all the others. You got to prioritize the space over different bits, because it's difficult. Otherwise, you just end up literally living in cardboard. See, that's another way. Yeah, because you've got another thing for like the spare pieces as well. It's like some people will get like the nuts and bolts little drawers, and they put them all in there, color code them. Other people I've just got a Lego head. You know, the sort of large scale Lego head you get obviously from the Lego website, and every time I get spare pieces, I've just thrown it in there. There's no sorting order whatsoever, but it's just one big smiley face. That's how I've kept all of my spare bits. So yeah, there's lots of different ways of doing different bits and pieces, Pink, but yeah, it's just what's easiest, what's easiest for you. So yeah, it's all because what sets sort of what's your main theme that you like to collect? And that's obviously another question for everybody as well. Theme wise, is it modular, or is it an IP, or is it upscale figures, or what is it you tend to enjoy the most of? Because that's another thing to think of with regards to having the space further down the line for future displays as well, isn't it? Because it gets very full very, very, very quickly, and then before you know it, you're in trouble. There we go. Right, I'm on 240. That took a little while to sort out, but that was a blink and you miss job, that was. That's definitely going in there. Got to. Magic. Yeah, it's a good way of doing it. Yeah, you can just bag it all up, especially if you're going to resell the bits and pieces, zip bags. Fair enough. Yeah, well, he gets van loads of delivery, so he's strange. He gets far too much stuff. I mean, I suppose. I mean, I have seen people got like a Kallax for storing the actual boxes, but like this Pokemon box that's to my right hand side, it's enormous. So like I couldn't get this box out the shipper box without hitting the lights on the roof, because I've got a A-frame roof. So I've just got to be so careful with the bits and pieces. But this box here, it's massive. And of course, it comes with these 3 internal boxes as well. So all of these, what I'll end up doing is I'll just flat pack all of them and put it on top of the UCS box, that big slice thing, and all the other boxes. And then they're just safe and sound. So as long as it's not in direct sunlight, it should be absolutely fine. So yeah, well, Reese is going to keep the shipping container box where it is a thing of beauty, that blue colour. Absolute thing of beauty. I think the main reason why I keep the boxes is because I'm probably one of the only people stupid enough that if I did go to do review videos for whatever reason, like the Ninjago stuff, for example, I would do a side-by-side comparison of the original Ninjago City box against the new workshop, and you can just see how the artwork and everything's changed over a period of time. So it's just something that I quite like seeing. But then you never see it again. They just get thrown straight back into storage, and then you think, oh, I won't see that box probably now for another 18 months. So you kind of think to yourself, is it really worth it? But as long as they're not in the way, and they're not you're not tripping over them all the time. I think that's the worst thing. If you've got a load of boxes that you're going to trip over, then you know that you need to sort of maybe think. Because luckily, I've got a lot of my stuff is just away in a shed, so that's the only place I could put them. And luckily, I fixed the roof on it so it doesn't leak currently. He says currently with the hail that we've just had. So. But it's a risk because if you do obviously leave stuff outside the house and something goes wrong, it is what it is, isn't it? So, but yeah, everybody's got their own IPs and themes. So I'm assuming if you're a bit of a collector of everything, it's not just Lego that you go for. Then you go for all sorts of other little bits and pieces. But no, it's amazing actually. There's so many different types of collectors around. And everybody's got their own different bits and bobs, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, what I've learned very, very quickly is I probably have a much smaller backlog than a lot of people. But then I guess I do sit down and get through it relatively sharpish. This obviously I've just been enjoying and not really trying to rush this at all. But I would imagine this whole thing will be finished this weekend. We'll get a good chunk of this done easily Sunday, no problem. Depending on, because I think this might be the last. This should be the last bag of this shaft. I'm hoping. I can't imagine because it's got to the point now. As I'm thinking, well, what else is there detail-wise to add, which isn't just going to be a waste of pieces? But because we're doing the bit right at the top where he sits, I think it should be good. I have, but it's not. Is it on the Lego website yet? Because we're all looking with anticipation for this Jeep. Has it been added? Has it been added? Crocs are back. No, we've just got the Tintin Moon Rocket still. They've teased it, but not shown it. When is that going to be coming on the website? I thought it had been on already, but clearly not. And of course, we've got the Mario minifigures. Anybody excited about those? I think that's true, Ryan. To be fair, I don't blame them. I can imagine they just love looking. I bet what they do, Ryan, is they brush the dirt off my boxes and just, oh, that looks nice. That's nice and shiny before they throw it in the incinerator. That'd be a nice thing for all of them. Where are we now? What are we on to? There we go. So we're about to start Charizard. So the shaft, that is it. That is the full shaft done. So that is all of it in all of its glory. So what we'll do now is we'll start Blastoise, because we've got the bases done on purpose because we wanted to build the bases up first. So we can finally actually get these in. Because it's got all the pins on this, look, so it's where all the pins clock on. So that now can go behind. That slides over and goes in there. Where does it go back? It goes to that bit. It's not pushed because obviously I need to have a bit of a fiddle. And then we've got this bit. Something's not right in the Bowser. Definitely not right. So the Bowser base needs a bit of TLC, but that is roughly rough. So that's it all together rough, which is not too bad at all. But this definitely is not right. I'm telling that, I can see that now. That needs to go on the corner, and that goes there, which then which will allow me, because this is the one that's got loads of different pieces in. So this is pretty much. So we're now going to be making the model of this one. So this is all model, obviously, and a little bit of a base. I think this is more base than model, and I think Charizard might be a 50-50. But that is the shaft. That's the full length of the shaft done. That now is butting up. Yeah, that's how it should be. So there you go. That's pretty much together. So now I'm going to have a box problem, because I now need to swap the boxes around. I need to move that out of the way because I do not want to spill that all over myself. Not again, not after what we did last time. I need to. Oh. Yeah, the bases are monstrous, aren't they? But in all fairness, because it's because stood up, it does look nice. And it is obviously part of the thing. I know a lot of people were kicking off, going, "Oh, I just wanted the actual Pokemon and yada yada yada," but it's part of the building experience, so it does the trick. But yeah, this is the beast of the thing. So this is a big one, and don't forget I have to wiggle this box out, don't I? So we are going back to number 2, which is this one. But the bags are in order, so we don't have to worry about that. This is literally just ready to go. So we can swap. He says, that's perfect. We can swap that for that. So that's box 3 back together. And yeah, this is a pretty cool looking thing. But yeah, they've got all the artwork all around. So it does the trick, and then that now will go back into its hidey hole currently, because there's no way you can't not flat pack a box that size, because it's so big. And then you've got all of these. So we've got what, bag 38 to so it's 11 bags for Blastoise. Then 11 bags for Blastoise is what this is. Put that back in its lid. There we go. And then that will sit. So I've literally got that pinned against the roof. Is what that's doing. So I just hope that isn't going to fall on me over a period of time. Yeah, it's it. It's weird though how they've done it, because a lot of the pieces I think are used on the blue one. Because this one, there was definitely a lot more bag numbers for this one, for the actual Venusaur, than the actual base. But this is where lots of parts got used. So bag number 2 for Reese. Bag number 2 for Reese. But like I said, for me, I'm doing it as a mini land, and Bowser's on the base. So I've got more on the bases. So that's how it's going to work. So it should be good, because this is going to, if I put this in the right place, this will be just overhanging. So that would be there. That's roughly the angle of how it will be. So we've got this gap in between the two. ish, because I don't know how far he's going to step forward. So, and then it's going to be Pikachu going off. So, yeah, you'll see Charizard up at the top just there. That's the angle how it normally is anyway. So the whole thing's going to be on show. But yeah, his head is, well, you've seen it. I mean, it's massive. So we need to deciding which set to go for next. Ooh, well, the problem is, Reese, it's one of those. There's so many different. There's always so many different things you can get. I think it's just a key thing to remember to enjoy the set that you're currently, because we're never happy, are we? It doesn't matter what theme you collect, what brand, whatever. So, I want this next. I want this next. It's like, you know, I've made space for all of the others. I've made space for a Pokeball. That's a rumor. I've made space for a Pikachu because there's 2 base plates of space here. So there should be about half a base plate space left in front of those 2 over there. But yeah, it's just remembering to enjoy it. It's just remembering to enjoy it, because it's so easy to get on. But I mean, it depends if you want something bigger, which is going to take you a lot longer to build, or you get a few smaller things, or you focus on other stuff that will make a display. That's the other thing, isn't it? You could focus on something that might make a display up, and then you can crack on and go from there. But I mean, like this Miniland thing, it's going to be a long-term project. 72153, and I'm looking forward to putting all the paths down. 72153, and yeah, just see what happens. Because it's been a minute since I did 72153. Try that again. There it is. If it will remember Blastoise, because it looks a lot smaller. You can see by the PDF size, 107, 99, and then Charizard's even smaller at 85. So just wonder how big is how much, because the face overhangs the bottom. So this is probably, I would say, 6 or 7 studs for the face. It's just overhanging. So I wonder what his water guns are doing. Oh yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. And it has. There we go. Look, there we go. Straight on to bag 38. Got bag 30 in front of me, and we'll open that up and crack on. Not too bad. Not too bad. Right, let's catch back up. So Reese is on bag 2 of the A-frame. Decided which to get next. Nice little touches from the design. Yeah, well, that's it. There's a lot of Easter eggs in that A-frame. A lot of them. So yeah, there's a lot of nice bits. The A-frame's a real nice build, and the nice thing with the A-frame cabin, if you wanted to, is you can winterize it and then redo it in January if you wanted to. So that way you can get the most out of the set if required. Ultra Bricks says DBD is a good bet. It's not a bad show. Yeah, to go, if depends if Ultra Bricks is meaning the Brick Designer Program stuff to go with your current set. It just depends on what it is that you're after. What it is that you're after. Yeah, well, if you don't have a backlog, then yeah, it makes sense. Because I have a backlog for the first ever time, and it's only because I've got these sets out of storage, and I completely forgot about the brick molding machine. I'm like, oh, that's a result. So that's 2,000 odd pieces or whatever it is. That'll keep me going. And I've got the architecture set. And then, of course, if we are going to be doing these other sets, and just with how chilled I build all the bits and pieces and having a chit chat, we've got hours of just going around. I missed your message. Was that when I was? What have I missed? In my defense, I was sorting out the other big box. What did you say? What you're going to do in 2 hours? What time is it in 2 hours? What time is it now? In 2 hours? Eat, probably. I would imagine, because that'd be 7 o'clock. So I'm going to get some food in about 2 hours, and then we'll start everything about 8 o'clock. If I've got the timing right, is that right? Because we're 5:15 now, and we've got another one going for 8, haven't we? So, yeah, that's probably because we're going to do we're going to browse all the sales. Is what we're going to do. That is the plan, and then see if anybody crumbles or if anybody's going to be sensible or what people are going to be doing. That is the thing. And for you, DJI, how happy are you now you've built your Apocalypse Berg? Are you impressed with it on display? Because that was a incredible impulse purchase. So that's really good going. Really good going. Well, we're doing the double ultra, so we got another. We'll stop at 7, kick off at 8, and then it'll be as long as it takes. We might just do another 2.5 hours later on as well, because we're going to go through all the sets that are on sale everywhere, because even Smiths have joined the party now. So we don't want to be missing out on that goodness, do we? So we want to see exactly what's going on, who's got what, where, and why. Because with regards to the stuff that's retiring halfway through this year, if anybody did want anything halfway through this year, now might be the last sales to pick them up. So that might be worth it. But I've got a little short list of sets that would be nice to have. But if it comes about, it comes about. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's not for me, it's just a case of it is what it is. So we will wait and see. And of course, me doing the double rather than doing one long one now, because Rocky's just had his meds just before I went live, so I can check on him, give him some more food, and then he'll fall asleep, and I can keep my eye on him later on. So that's all good as well, which is what we like. Yeah, see, they're all in it. They've all just jumped in. They've all jumped in to play because of Amazon. And Smiths are the one that has the new Winnie the Pooh. It might only be a $5 off, but the fact that you're getting something that new in a sale already is pretty impressive. So, you've got a lot of companies going up against each other for a lot of different bits. And I wonder when John Lewis is finally going to come out and play ball and just be like, yeah, come on then, we'll give you the biggest sales. So, yeah, it'll be good fun. True. Okay. But yeah, Smiths, they're looking quite strong. I think Argos might be as well. But yeah, it'd be good to see. And I am hoping that they do this the Jeep, because I don't, going by that video, it's not very helpful. And I don't know if anybody's gone over to the Lego Instagram page and actually seen it, but I would like to know the actual scale of it. So hopefully it'll be on by this evening and we can take a look. Because we'll go over the new sets again, because there's been a lot of them, haven't there? So we'll go over the helmets and all that kind of stuff briefly and quickly. All the additions stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll move on to some of the stuff in the UK that is in these really big sales. So, and of course, we can also go back to Amazon. We can see if there's any more of that stuff on Amazon as well. I'm assuming there's going to be. I'm assuming Amazon. So I don't know if Amazon chop and change, or do they just keep it until it sells out? Yeah, I can see Reese saying about the UCS X-Wing. Yeah, that's a nice scale. They're big though, to a point. But that's another slippery slope that you could go down, because there's lots of them. There's lots of them in that scale. So Yeah, because realistically, if you got the slice, you would want the smaller scales to be flying around the slice, because the UCS X-wings and stuff would be too big for that. But then the X-wing is probably in scale with Boba and all of the others, so yeah, you got options with that. Options. That is a rather large, chunky piece. That rather large, chunky bit. Yeah, so we'll be plodding on, I think. But yeah, over the weekend we'll be doing some lengthy streams for builds, and obviously people can just jump in and out as they wish. Ah, Killian, why was it the weather? You did all that work and it all fell through. Well, come on then, sell your stuff, Killian. Talk to everybody. Let's see if we can sell any. Let's see if we can sell any of Killian's goodness. Come on, Killian. We'll work it out together. Just name a category of stuff, and then people can ask the questions. So I'm sure there'll be people that will want stuff. Even after all of that talk of everybody trying to save money, I'm sure people will now crumble. That's what the emoji's there for. On. And that one. What's going on? What's going on? Ah. Shocking. Not worth it, Killian. Not worth it. I don't understand what it is with markets at the moment, trying to make it out that they're God's gift with sort of people that are trying to sell. Well, if the hole has been tickled and you are now on your way, that's probably the best thing then, isn't it? So that's okay. There we have it. We've got a blue flame. What's that an Easter egg of? A blue flame. That's supposed to represent the elemental symbol, is it? A little bit of water. Is it a big market, Killian? That one? Like you got? Is there a lot of people at the stalls there? Because it's very hit and miss over this way. I've not been to one for a long time. Long time. I've got the Technic pins going in early, so I'm hoping that this is all the correct way round. Otherwise, it could be disastrous. Ah, yeah. Kai's building a Minecraft fortress. Lovely. Ah. Oh. Killian's building the helicarrier. Which one? The old school helicarrier? Are you going to try? Are you building that to sell on, Killian, or are you just building that to keep? Because obviously there is talks of a new of a new one coming, isn't there, for the for that? Because the older UCS one, that's a hell of a size. Killian's on a mission then. Killian is on a mission. So I was looking at the some images of your flagship Lego store ran by your sort of way, and the internal builds and that look incredible. So they've done a serious nice job on the flagship that's over there. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. Yeah, the micro figure one. Yeah, yes. It's a nice looking set, that. But there is a new one on its way. And Ultra Brick's saying it's in June. But that might be very expensive. So that is the only thing. How much will it be? And that is that bag, I do believe, done. Any guesses what this bit's actually supposed to be? It's got that little flame just behind somewhere. I'm not too sure what that little bit's supposed to be, but there it is. It's going to be a huge thing. Everybody's liked the video so far, guys. Thank you very much indeed. I've not even checked the poll for the last ages. 16 votes in for the poll. 44% of you say no. Fair enough. That's it. Simple as that. 25% of you say something else. 19 say yes, and 12% of you say yes and move the eyeball up by the tower. So not a bother. That can stay down there. Right, 39. 39. You're gonna hang yours off the ceiling, Killian? Because the other thing I was thinking of was that I think maybe the Enterprise might actually be in the same sort of thing. Because it's a model, isn't it? Because it's not a minifigure thing. The minifigures don't fit in it. And the minifigures come on that plaque and plinth. The actual ship itself is just an upscaled thing. It's not like it's a one-to-one. It's not like it's a one-to-one type thing. So maybe the Enterprise could go on there as well. I should hang it off the. Well, there was talks of hanging the Enterprise off the ceiling. I think that's what we got to, and the Enterprise could actually hang still over the loop coaster. So the Enterprise realistically could hang there. Killian, you have a question. Is that the one with the power functions? So I'm trying to think. It might be. What's the SKU number? And I'll type it in on the Lego website so everybody can see. If anybody knows what it is. If not, I'll find it. I said it's on here still. Let's have a look. So I can find it in the background. Oh, I type in helicarrier, and what's the first thing that comes up? The dual fuel container vessel. Right, let's share that and we'll find it together. Right, so you've got two little helicarrier. We've got tiny helicarrier and a bigger one. You've got the Concorde, which is a nice looking thing. That's caught my eye a few times. Don't know if that would work as a display bit. Got the Endurance. The Titanic is obviously questionable. Why are you not coming up? Reese says the container covers all bases. It is. It's literally a set that keeps on giving. It's a set that keeps on giving, that one. The Cinema Palace apparently is coming up for that. Why would that even be affiliated with anything that I've just typed in? If I typed in helicarrier, why would you give me the cinema? The Batwing actually could work. I've got the Batwing. I just can't build the thing, but I do own that, the 89 Batwing. That'd look quite nice, actually. Oh, that would look quite nice. Oh dear, would that work in my little thing? Oh, I've got it. I do own this. Oh, Callum said I finished my starter trio set. Had a missing piece from my set, so I had to wait a bit. What bit was missing? So I've got the misery when I get to it. Oh, that could. Oh, I tell you what, that might be a good addition. Miniland walkthrough 89 Batwing. Well, I can't build it because it literally pings itself apart. I have never been able to complete the set since I've ever had it because all of these pieces literally ping off because all of mine are warped. So I don't know what to do. Ah. Well, I might have missed that, Callum, but I've literally just finished the base. So hopefully I've not missed it, he says. But no, I do own this. And it's on a stand. It's not, but it's minifigure scale though, so it's like a 1-to-1 replica. But they do make, if you think about it, the Formula 1 car is a 1-to-1 replica that you go around and sit in and get your photo taken. It's not finding the UCI. I got carried away with that then. Where in the bejesus is this? Marvel Helicarrier Lego. What set is it? 76042. Right, try that again. 76042. Oh, he's not on the website anymore. So it's under the Marvel superhero range. It's this. This, because I'm sure this is because the motors do move on this, don't they? But I can't find any good photos. 76053. Seven 6 0 5 3. How you get what? What am I typing in? 761. Avengers. It's wrong. They give you whatever I'm looking at. It's not giving me the correct SKU code for it. Where's the box? 76042. How can it be so far off? Idiots. 42. Whatever. Amateur Hour. Whatever that website was. There. This. Superhero. Shield. This thing. This is what Killian is currently doing. And I don't think this is the power function one. This set was it the other one? There is something. I know. I know what. I know there is something. So I've seen it. Is it the blades? Are these moved, aren't they? I wonder if it is this one. Because I know some of the older sets, like the Vesta, had the power function built in it. They actually gave you it, so you could just turn it on and turn all the lights on and move it around and all that kind of thing. But this is an impressive looking set. But you might need to buy the power function separately. But I haven't got a picture of the box. So, but 2015, 11 years old. 11 years old. That is scary. Killian said I was just typing my laptop sounded freeze. Well, thanks very much for your laptop, Killian. Doesn't help. Yeah, Pink said pretty certain the power function operate all the blades on that set. So that would look tasty if that was the case. I think I have seen that, but because there was a certain year or two where they pushed all the power function stuff, didn't they? I think that was one of the sets that people just have, rather than the people doing the light kits, they were really focusing on power functions. Yeah, I think you're right, Pink. I honestly think you're right, because there was a time where a lot of the sets allowed you to do the power function things, and I think that one has the ability to do it, because that would have been around about the same time that I got the big turbine wind energy set, and that actually had it in. Yes. But no, they used to be able to buy all of those kind of things, didn't you? Because it wasn't just used for all the trains; it was used for all sorts of different bits and bobs. Reese, it's for sale. Killian is the man. Is for sale. Yeah, Killian's got a very naughty collection, if I remember rightly. Could well be, Killian. It could well be. Be worth trying to plug it in, see if it all works, because you could potentially sell it all as a one then. Because I've seen the light kits on it as well, because it lights up blue on the inside. But I am almost 100% sure as well that that is for those blades. It's not for the smaller one; it is for that one. But I would imagine it would actually say on the box. But I need to find a picture of the box, because it would just have power function or power system or something weird on the box. It's like an orange lightning bolt with white writing, I think, if I remember rightly. So there is. We'll try and find it when we do the sale research later on. We'll see if we can find that as well, because I'll be carrying on building this for a little while. Then I'll grab some food, and then we will do a deep dive into what is on sale where, because there is a lot of stuff on a sale. And then everybody can make the decision if you're going to go broke or if you're going to save your pennies. And I don't know anybody that's taken advantage of the times 3 times 4. So we'll be covering all of that again, because you've got the times 4 points, we've got the giveaways, we've got all sorts of stuff. So we'll just have a look at all the new stuff that's come out this week, like we normally do, and then move on to all of the sale bits, and then we'll just see what's happening. So we'll see if we can find it in that for the. Is it power system or power function? One or the other. One or the other. Yeah, keep it update, Killian, if you find it. You plug it in and you get thrown. If you plug it in and get thrown against the wall, then it's probably not the correct one. But if, for the name of science, if you could try it for everybody and then let us know, that'd be really good. Obviously, film it in case it does go wrong. You might get yourself a tenner now on you being framed or whatever it is. So as Reese is tucking well into the A-frame cabin, is anybody building anything this weekend? Is anybody going to be doing anything exciting building-wise this weekend? Because I know some of you got bits and pieces on order, but you can't build anything because you're either waiting to move house or whatever it may be. Tell you what, again, just with how they've used these colours, you've got the bright green, yellow with the blue, and you've got the slightly grey. The only sort of non-bright was, of course, the Charizard base, which makes sense because obviously it's literally a volcano. But with that orange, I don't know if it works with the eyeball. Does it work with that eyeball there? I suppose the question I should ask is, does the eyeball work in the Miniland setting? Or does that need to be just moved back? I suppose that's the thing to think of. Does it work there or not? What we got with you? Ooh. Because the eyeball could go up to the next table. That's the thing. It would fit where the Daily Bugle is, and the Daily Bugle would go the other side of the Avengers Tower. So it'd still be on show. It would still be on show. It just depends on if it actually works within the Miniland display. If it works, it's staying there. So it's that simple. So if we think it works, it's not going to go anywhere. So what doesn't work is me putting this in upside down, and it's a piece that you can't salvage. Oh, please. No. What a absolute donkey of a human being. How have I managed to do that? What a pleb. Absolute. And again, there we go. Muppetry. That makes more sense. If I put it the right way around, it actually fits like a glove. So the eyeball works. I see eyeball works. Okay. Right, that's his bottom of his pouch for the shell, isn't it? That's what it is. That's what we're doing at the moment. So he's going to be a chubby one because his legs are obviously going either side of this. We are. There it is. Well, that's a good connect. Roaming. How is roaming bricks today? Hope everything is good. How was your sorting out, roaming? Did you manage to get all your bits and pieces nailed and done? That way. That way and that way. Nicely done. Not too bad, thank you, roaming. Not too bad. This is the first build. First time I've been building since last Sunday, because the last time I was up here, we moved all the Jurassic Park stuff, which I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did do that. So that needed to be done, and then I've just had a good tidy up here. Made a load of space on that side. You can see the crane and things have just been thrown in, just so I don't dump anything there. And then just starting to put the tummy together on that, and we're about to open up bag number 40. Thank you very much indeed, Roman. Thank you very much indeed. Because we all know that liking a video helps, because YouTube thinks I am more popular than what I already am. So we've gone back to bag 40, because of course we built the base up first. And I think, again, as it is, that is the location. And that's that bit. I think that's how it's going to be. And then we've got that, just got that gap. Just got that gap for that. So I think that should be good. Yeah, there's some crocs on I think there's some nonsense on the Lego website already. So we'll be taking a deep dive into those in a little bit, Ultra. And thank you very much indeed, roaming. But yeah, shelves and stuff that you've got, Roman, incredible. So it's always nice to have different bits of stuff, which is always good. But yeah, the new sets. Is this thing on the Lego website yet? Is roaming going to give us good luck? And have they in the last 40 minutes? The Crocs are there. Look, there they are. No, the Crocs, whatever you want to call them. Different stuff. The white and black and creativity and Sunshine Garden pack and gaming pack, which we'll look at later on. Master Band. You want to get that wrong? Or Master Brand. Good grief. Luigi, the Rocket, and the helmets and the One Piece. And no, it's still not on the Lego website. Oh, wait. They couldn't have forgotten to have added it, surely. I enjoyed your long form video. Yeah. We do some long ones on this channel, don't we? We do some long ones. Oh, very nice, Roman. When are you going to break the seals on that one? Very, very nice. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that, Roman. Absolutely. Just check. Well, they do work. So I'm just checking those two up on there. That's it. It's already up there. The next stream's all ready to go. So we are the countdown is on for the next stream. So it gives me a whole, because I literally finished just before the hour. All I've got to do is just change 2 emojis over, because we're going to bring the Pokeball back and the Lego minifigure head back, and then yeah, just do it all. So it's all set up, ready to go. So being organized. But yeah, there's always different emojis there or thereabouts every stream. But I've got another. We'll swap the Pokemon ones out, and I'll replace it with a Pokeball, because it's been a minute since we've had that one, and the other one. So the Pokeball kind of covers everything, doesn't it? So that can sort of stay in there. We've got the Mario and Luigi in the locker somewhere. They're in hibernation at the moment. Very, very nice. Very nice color. So yeah, it's all good. But yeah, make the most of your emojis where you can, because I would imagine the very kindly gifted channel memberships, I know they only last for a month, and I would imagine that month will be there or thereabouts done. Tonight, tomorrow? I don't know when it'll finish. Who knows? Who knows? Reese has a code brown. Oh dear. That's it. We've got the golden toilet paper. Might need to make a comeback at some point as well. What's the... Just randomly name 5 sets in your backlog, Roman. Just tease me with what you've got in your backlog. Nothing wrong with having a backlog, that's for sure. Many, many sets in a backlog now. Well, let me know what they are. I'm on step 252, in case anybody cares. So 252, and we are doing whatever this bit is. And you can see it's got all the blue and the white with the yellow on the inside. I've got a fair few technical bits on this. Ultra Brick says, my backlog is like the Indiana Jones warehouse scene. That's quite a big backlog then. It's quite a bit on your list, Ultra. Mad. Yeah, and with your delivery that you had, I might have missed it. Is both of those arrived? Killian's asking a question. Since when is Bricklink only for adults? What do you mean? What, to buy or do? That's a random. Have a look. What does it state? Well, you've got to be over a certain age to submit your submission. You can buy all your stuff. You can have a look. Let's have a look. Bricklink designer program. Palette. Doesn't have anything about age on there, does it? Review, designs, finalists, crowdfunding, shipping. Read the submission guidelines. Minifigures, theme, parts usage. I don't think it does it? I don't think it is, Killian. I don't think. There's lots of younger ones who put a load of submissions in. Loads and loads of them. Tell you one thing, it is getting very cold in here very quickly. So I'm assuming the temperature is supposed to be dropping this evening. It kind of got to the point now of where I can't quite feel my face, which is exciting. Hang on, what? Just went on it and asked for date of birth, and Kai tried and said, Bricklink said it's not for kids. Well, the actual Bricklink thing. Hey? That's not right. Not right. Don't forget, it's company as well, isn't it? I think I'm logged in. Hang on, am I logged in? No, I can't do it. That's rubbish. There's no way that is right. No way. Bricklink isn't for kids. If that's the statement that that's wrong. No. That's absolute horse. That is. Because I don't think at all you have to be a certain age to submit your designs, as far as I'm aware. Don't know. Because you don't have to worry about it definitely not for the Lego Ideas stuff, I don't think, because the idea could be any age group. Yes. That is extremely bizarre. Extremely bizarre. Well, the Bricklink Designer Program has been weird, Killian, anyway, haven't they? Over the last few months, where they've pulled out of all the different countries and done all sorts of different bits and pieces and all that kind of stuff. They've been very, very strange with their ways of doing things and how they did it. I covered it enough on the channel, and it annoyed me enough as well. So that, sir, I can't help you with, I'm afraid. A load of nonsense, obviously, but I can't help you with it. Am I just dribbling? I am just dribbling. Yes. Trying to think to myself, am I dribbling? Yes. Yes, I am. There we go. That'll be why that doesn't fit. Because I was off by a whole stud. Splendid. What's Reese saying? Reese says would go with one of my displays, I think. Well, the Jurassic Park, the Jurassic Park Jeep, Reese, would be your one you would want to go for. Because that Jeep, it's not the one that they use at Universal, but it is there is about, so they do use it at the theme parks, and it would be a nice display model. But until I can have an actual proper look at the box, I don't know if it would work in the theme park or not, like in the Miniland, like an upscale vehicle. I don't know if it would. So, because the Loop Coaster is really the Jurassic Park bit, but it could potentially go with the skeleton, but I don't know. Oh, Bricklink. Good old Bricklink. Everybody's liked the video so far, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Hang on. Did Jay just say that was hard work? I fell asleep. You got a cardboard box through your front door. That's terrifying. Yeah, it's still not on the Lego website, the JP thing. I just want to see it with proper pictures. I've seen the box. I've seen the car built. It's on the flipping Lego Instagram page on inside the Jeep, but it's not very helpful that they've done all of this and then not actually uploaded it to the Lego website yet. But yeah, there's so I don't know. Does anybody actually know what the price of it is? That'd be another good one to know. Does anybody know the price of the Jeep? Because the Triceratops head was in a huge sale. So the head of that Triceratops went down like £10 off. But I don't know how much it is. So is it? It will say. I know what it will say. It will say on all the people that are affiliated with it, won't they? If I go on Instagram now, my newsfeed should be full of that. Oh, that's good news. Hang on, I'll take a screenshot of that and read that after. What's the date? 13th. Okay. Let me go through. I say my newsfeed's full of it. I lie. It's not. It is not full of it at all. Killian has entered. So Killian's went. Hang on. Oh, it cut off Killian. You didn't get a chance to enter the thing in. That's not good. I know the piece count. The piece count is what, like nearly 2,000 pieces, I think. But no, I thought my newsfeed would have been ransacked of it, but it's not, which is fine. So I will see it later. It's not unlike the Lego Group not to get it up on the website, though. They do seem to be uploading almost one new thing every day at the moment. There's that. I've got another one for the other side. $199 for the Jeep, $99 for... Oh, so the Triceratops not bad price. Because the actual smaller head was in the top. It went on the Big Insiders weekend. Yeah, that went into a big sale, and it's still on the Lego website, so you can actually see what the price of it was. So, if we go and by rule of thumb of the size of the set is the same size as the head. Obviously, the Triceratops head was much smaller than the T-Rex head, so kind of makes sense. I've got room for it because when we moved all the stuff, there is space. There is space there for it over a later period of time. Yeah, there is space. So oof. I caught that with reflex. That was lucky. Nothing else but just pure reflexes. That could have been another disaster. So is anybody going to get any of it then? Is anybody going to get any of that at all? Is there any T-Rex fans or anything in there? The Jeep will be big though. That's what you got to remember. That'll be a big 2 base plater, if not more. I would think. Yeah, it depends on where if the Jeep's going to go elsewhere, then obviously it will go into sale. If it's going to be a Lego type thing, then it won't go into a sale for a long time if it goes into a sale at all. Because with the T-Rex, I remember the T-Rex, weirdly, it was on massive back order. And then the second it came back out of back order, they put it on like double points, just randomly by itself with a few other things. Kind of made you question what was going on. But no, that might be the way to do it. Just wait for sales. That might be the way. That will be the way to do it. I've got some blues, yellows, pinks, orange. I've had an accident, brown and blacks all mixed in together. Not bad. Yeah, the T-Rex is a fantastic build. It is a cool thing. But it just depends. Well, for a lot of the stuff now, I'm just focusing on the Miniland section. That's my focus point. So, the bigger, chunky dinosaur can just wait. But yeah, that T-Rex fits in there so well because the tail goes around the calyx. It doesn't take up hardly as much space as before. So it does the trick. So yeah, that whole Jurassic Park section now, once the base plates get put down, which we'll do over the weekend, if we've got enough colours left, we'll put the correct ones down. And of course, the other thing because obviously with this being a Miniland walkthrough, this thing here to my left is, do we get rid of the Luke Coaster or does it stay? because the loop coaster itself, and of course the actual point of a Miniland, it's just a walkthrough attraction. It's not like a ride or anything like that. So we can put that potentially by the Ninjago section if required. And then it gives us more display space in the middle. Because potentially, if the loop coaster went eventually, that's where that big NASA space rocket could go or something like that. Oh, the T-Rex, honestly, Reese, it's a meter long. It's so big. Like, it just needs a full table by itself. That's it. That's all you can do. It is huge. Jay can vouch for how big it is. It's a big old thing, and he's saying he's got a 1/6 Jurassic Park minifigure announcement. Very tempting, he says. Mark, hello to you. A new haunted house is coming too. What size are we talking? Modular or like a 3-in-1? Ooh, a new haunted house. Oh, that'd be exciting. Would that tickle my biscuits? I probably would do, to be honest. And don't forget, it's Friday the 13th, everybody. Again, 2 months in a row. So happy Friday the 13th to everybody. I'm sure all of you are wondering where Jason Boys is and having a wonderful Friday the 13th. Let's not forget that. As we're talking about horror bits and pieces. Well, it's not that. I mean, you've got loads of big things in front of it, and you can see all the stuff around it, can't you? So it's in scale with everything. It's just that, does a ride need to be there? Because it is what it is. Oh, some of the icons range. It's an 18. So it's an 18 plus set, but it's 1/4. So it's going to be what? Open back, like Malfoy Manor, do we reckon? Yeah. So I wonder if it's going to be a Malfroid type thing. Yeah, I think so. It'd be an open backside on that. I would think. But no, you can't go wrong with the haunted house, especially that announcement on Friday the 13th. You can't go wrong with. Let's be honest. But no, there is opportunity over a period of time that loop coaster could potentially move, but it can only go in one other place. So that's it. There's only one other place it can go. But we can build all the paths around it. It just depends if we wanted a loop coaster in the middle of a walkthrough attraction or not. But don't forget that's 4 tables, mind. So it's smack in the middle of 4 tables because you're only seeing to here, and that's not what you're seeing is not even a full table. So there's nothing behind it. So there's another table and a half going all the way around that way. Look, to keep going. So that's what there's a lot of space around it anyway, isn't there? There's a lot of space around it. I've just rammed a pin in its hole, so that's exciting for me. I've done the right thing. Oh, it's just told me to. Oh, I've just got two random bits just chilling out. 41 is the next bag. Yeah, there's one out currently, Killian. That is a 3-in-1, and to be fair, that does look good. That the current haunted house 3-in-1 looks nice. So haunted ass. So there's a couple. So the new one does look smart. So this top left. So this is the new 3-in-1, the Haunted Mansion. It's literally the Monster Fighters. Can you remember that? because what it allows you to do, it allows you to make the train, and it allows you to do something else as well. So you can either build the house, build the train, or build the boat. And they've teased you with the same characters that came with the Holy Grail, which of course is this, which is the Monster Fighters Haunted House, which I don't understand why they just don't redo. Because this now is so expensive, and the minifigures on this thing are great. This is what, to be fair, we didn't get around to looking at the figures from this last night, because I said the Monster Fighters range has to be up there for minifigures and sets. And I mean, if you just look at the blood all over that zombie, you really can't go wrong with it, can you? I mean, they've gone to town on that, and don't forget the glow in the dark elements as well. They've got glow in the dark bits and pieces on this, so yeah, the minifigures on this set are great. But what people have done is they obviously done two of these and made it basically similar to that. Because the Monster Fighters range was obviously, say, 4 or 5 big dominant sets, and they put 3 of them on this. So, but the box artwork's smart, but yes, that's what you're looking for. Under the creator range, 3-in-1. And I've seen all 3 of them built in store, because they put them side by side, which I appreciate them doing, actually. I do like them doing that. So you could see all 3 of them built, and it does make a difference. Because they redid some of the minifigures as CMFs, and but you can see they've done the Frankenstein, I think, again. I don't know if it's the same one or slightly different print on that one just down there, but yeah, it looks smart enough. There's another haunted house, but there's not a Monster Fighters house, no. So the main, you got this one, obviously. Under the Monster Fighters range, which is the OG of good glow-in-the-dark haunted sets, the Ghost Train, you've got the vampire thing. There's a big vampire set. Obviously, there's this one, which is the haunted house, which is the drop tower ride under the amusement park sets. But the other stuff, no. But will it take me to it if I clicked on it? No. They've not got the Monster Fighters range in there. I can find them all later. I have to literally go back out and then come back in. So I go through the back way. Oh, if you've got the Monster Fighters house, then you are laughing, because you've got the vampire one as well, which is the Monster Fighters house is a modular, and then the vampire one is like a fascia but wider. So Jay's Toy Collection UK has asked, how deep are you planning on going on the Pokemon Big Figs? Well, I'm past the tip, that's for sure. So we've done the mushroom tip straight away. I would think it's full shaft balls deep is what I'm going to be going for, Jay. I think. I would say that's what it is. Well, we had it, Ultra. We did have a haunted section, and you lot took it apart. So that all got devoured when all of this got done, because I had a haunted section. So I had the haunted house next to this, next to some other haunted bits and pieces. So I had it next to I had the haunted house with the Stranger Things upside down house and the eyeball all together. And we ripped it all apart and put it back here. Well, as it stands right now, I have got 4 full tables to my left. Obviously, you've got the Colosseum and the eyeball. And that's it. That's the only things that are on there. And obviously, you've got this loop coaster in the middle, which ideally, I want them to do a stadium for. I want a big Pokemon stadium in the middle of this display, which I think would be great. Now, of course, what the easiest thing to do would be use the top of that Calyx and put some of them over there if need be, and put them into the Calyx. So it wouldn't be horrendous. Oh, Reese started it off. Go on then, everybody. Make me hungry. Who's having what for dinner? What are they, Jay, by the way? Because yeah, it does depend, because I do want them, but it also depends on if I could just have them not on top. Because we've got, obviously, we've got the Mario, and then Luigi should fit on there. The end of that table was where you guys wanted the astronaut stuff. You've got the far corner, which is all the smaller architecture. And you've got the massive Colosseum. The Flintstones house is still inside it. The carousel's moving over the weekend. And then you've got all of the other space, basically. So there's a lot of space at the moment. But it also depends on the price of them, because it does depend on, do I just want the display stand Pokemon, or do I want all of them like Eevee? Because that's the other thing. Because I would like them, but it's making them work within this, because obviously all of these are on nice bases. So do we have a subsection of them? Because as it stands, you're going to have the big NASA rocket, Luigi over a period of time, Bowser. You got the giveaways just here. So you got the two giveaways, the Pokemon Center, this big thing, and Pikachu. Pikachu's got space for here. So the whole front strip of 2 tables. So basically, I've got 2 tables long and say 2 base plates deep gone. And then the rest of it is nothing. So if we're going by studs and base plates, I've used 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. I've used 16 base plates, and on those 16 base plates, we've got 1 big NASA thing, 2 cars, the Bowser, 2 giveaways, the big thing, and Pikachu. So it's nicely spread out, because it has to be. That's the other thing. They've got to be spread out. Oh no, I always enjoy it, Killian. Always. Yeah. That's it, always enjoy it. I mean, like the Winter Village stuff, that's not moving until December. This won't move unless we think we want to wrap it all the way around. I've got no problem moving the modulars somewhere else if need be. But some displays haven't moved for a long time. Because what happens is, like, when I upload like the videos, for example, like the Ninjago Old Town video that got uploaded 2 days ago, that was filmed at the start of January. So what sometimes happens is that they get bottlenecked up and it looks like I'm moving stuff all the time. Whereas like the Old Town's been in since January, the Red Roller Coaster's been there, all of the back wall hasn't moved. I mean, the Batman artwork's obviously never moved, the slice has never moved. It's only this big rejig that we did because of everybody that is in here. But no, I mean, it's just nice to do. I enjoy moving it around as well. I think that's the bit that I really enjoy. But I also would like to fine tune it. The hard bit for this is there's 2 ways to approach this bit, because this is all going to be custom paths. Now the problem is I start putting the tiles down and they release other stuff. You've literally got to go, well, it just has to go in a bit that's not yet been done. And then when the space starts to fill up, rejig it all. Because as it stands right now, where that Bowser is and where this is and where that Pikachu is going to go and the other 2, the other bits and pieces, I can now tile all of that and it will look fine. But there's going to be something else that'll come out that might look better at the front. And you just think, oh, well, I've done all the tiling now. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's like I've got 4. What I look at all the time is my favorite thing is the Winter Village. So that is there. It's been in. It looks, it's that bit. That's it there. So those 4 cubes, they've been in since January, and that obviously they're not going to move until end of October. Then I'll start to make a proper display with them in November. That'll all get ripped out. Nothing obviously goes back in there. But no, the Ninjago stuff that hasn't moved since. Well, the Ninjago City has been against that wall for a year and a bit. So it's just different sections that I work on. That's all it is. So I tell you what, all of these, it's all screwed. So all of these bits, there'll be screws that'll be removable, so you can put the fish wire behind it. So it could get dangerous. It could get dangerous because obviously the boards are up. So each big panel of boarding is up by 20, 25 screws. But I still think the Enterprise would work now in our Miniland section. Jay says, which is why I'm thinking if you get them all, the other Miniland sets in the coast and the Colosseum might need to move. Well, the coaster can over a period of time. That's fine. The coaster should fit. Coaster's got two places it goes. That's it. It's got by Ninjago, if it will fit, or it goes behind me. And if it goes behind me, all that needs to get reshuffled. Killian says, now thanks to ads. It's because I've said your name, Killian. We've learned how this works now. If I mention you, you get an ad. So I just showed off the Winter Village display, but I don't know if you've seen it. If you did see it, brilliant. If you didn't, then let me know. But yeah, there's like the Ninjago stuff's been there for like a year and a half, not longer. I could do a full. To be fair, I could do a full wrap round. Right, this section here where all the bigger modulars are, I've got no worry putting these modulars somewhere else. Yeah, it depends on if we mix and match it in. So we purposely mix it in and just have to give extra tables. Because it's just big models. So the bigger models is going to be a walkthrough. Yeah, well, that's it. What we're saying about it, I think the Enterprise off the roof would work. And I was saying about the screws. We've got 25 screws in, which could potentially have fish wire around it. So there is stuff that we could hang off the ceiling. But yeah, it just depends on how much breathing space some of these sets need. That's the other thing. Because if I get a load of the smaller ones and they go all across the back of the table, literally touching each other side by side, like it's a museum piece, and you put like a little rope in front of them, then maybe I could get away with that, and they would just easily fit. But if they're big chunky things like this, or the second they're a base plate and a half on a stand, you're in trouble. That's going to be the problem. But yeah, it would look nice. Like the Mario stuff merges with it nicely, and that NASA thing would merge with it nicely. It just obviously needs more expansion. So if it's going to need more expansion, then there's stuff that we can do. There's stuff that we can do because we've got Kallax spaces with not much in. So yeah, well, all the screws are into the studs, so that's what they'll be. So that shouldn't be a problem. They're all in that, so we should be living the dream with regards to that. But yeah, basically. But I know there's going to be a lot of Pokemon stuff coming, but it also depends on the price of it. That's the other thing. It does depend on the price. So yeah, we'll just have to see, because like, would Eevee look better in a Kallax, or does it need to go in the Miniland? That's the other thing to think of. Is like, which is a Miniland model? It is, Reese. Have you noticed? I've literally just got a pack. These will last me all weekend as well. See, I got my list. These are the things that are keeping me going, because obviously you're thinking of ordering a takeaway. Well, if that's the case, then Jay, then we're laughing. But it does depend on the size of them. Because if they're all going to be like, I don't know, a base plate footprint each, then you're going to be in trouble. Because I don't know how much breathing space you're going to need for them. And it does depend on how much and how, sorry, they get displayed. That's obviously the other thing, isn't it? It's like, how do they get displayed? Oh, that's interesting. I've actually put that in the wrong hole. What? Oh, it goes in there. Oh, amazing. That was definitely in the wrong hole. There we go. They're now not flopping about. I did wonder. Amateur hour. No, all I can see is a burger. Has Reese got himself a burger? It's outrageous, Reese. Uh-oh. It's a burger takeaway, is it? Yeah. Go and buy Ultra Bricks' response. Oh, ordered. Burger ordered. What one did you go for? Yeah, because with the Miniland stuff, it can all be zoned out. So if you treat like the Miniland as that sort of Star Wars thing, you just keep walking through and you just see different models and you go through. Like a Miniland section at a Legoland park is literally the size of this room. That's how you could do it. Like everything is zoned out specifically just with the paths, and it's just the Miniland. Oh, I can't put another row of tables on here because it would just look too busy, and then I wouldn't be able to put anything on top of the tables. I mean, I might, but then I don't know how well this would look if a table was up here somewhere. So I don't think I can get away with that. Because that's what we've got at the moment. We've got the architecture stuff as a separate thing, and it just comes into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But because again, it depends on, like, if, say, for example, the eyeball just went up to the back, you could literally just have every single model side by side looking inwards off this back run and then off the back of the green, literally just touching tips all the way around the outside. And then the bigger stuff on the stand has the breathing space with the footpath and things around it. And if one Pokemon's slightly longer than the other, the path will then just wiggle around. A bit like a car park, like with the parking bays where everybody just reverses in. So that's your outer edge perimeter done, and it hides the gap just underneath there. And you literally do it in release date order. So because obviously Pikachu's going to go here anyway, but then it'll be Eevee and boff, 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 and then it's the next lot coming all the way around. And then whatever's like the NASA thing, whatever's on that base, we can then make a fancy path all the way around it. But yeah, it's food for thought, Jay. Absolutely, it is food for thought. It's just, again, thinking about it now before those tiles start to go down. But because we've got the Super Mario bits and we've got the other bits as well, it's going to have to kind of merge to a point. That is the thing. There it is. That is the thing. Right, I'm on step 273, by the way. 273. Roman, yes, indeed. I think we are going all in on them. Because I still like the look of that NASA space set. But now, potentially, there might not be any room. That's the other thing. This is the thing. It's like, well, if I commit to that, It's making sure everything in advance is all thought through, and then it will just all slot into place. So as it stands, we've got 4 tables. The front lot's there or thereabouts. If we keep that idea at the front, that's all the display stand stuff. And then because Eevee's not very big, so if they're going to do that scale, if it's all going to be like in scale with Eevees, we might be all right. If all of a sudden they're going to be huge Snorlaxes, for example, and they're another 3,000 piece model, like the Pokeball, how big is that flipping thing going to be? And how much of a priority does the Pokeball take up in the display? Because that's going to look, that needs to be somewhere, doesn't it? That needs to kind of be, it can't be the back. Well, it could be, but I don't know. That's the thing. There's so many unknowns, but it'd be good fun to plonk it all in and do it all and everything else. But this has been good to. This has been really nice. Well, really nice to put together. And Jay knows how quickly I can build these sets if I want to. But it's just really nice to put these together, and then obviously sharing all the designs and things with you, because something like this, I don't see the point in trying to build it in 5 minutes, unless it's for a charity or whatever it'll be. But I don't quite see the point, because it just seems to be like, oh, move on to the next, move on to, and if I had like, if this was my job and I made enough money from YouTube and I could just do this 8 hours a day every day, you know, something silly like that, unless I was being given the sets that I was contractually obliged to try and smash them out, I still don't think I made many. I don't think I'd build many quicker either. I think I would just sort of do it at this pace and then just carry on, because you just run out of room too quick. Surely, I mean, if you're building like a new set every single day and they're this scale, where do they all go? Yeah, I think they will be. I mean, Eevee was 51, and Pikachu was a big size, and if you half that price for the size of that character, but then, well, yeah, but I'm obviously not gonna do it in a storage unit, am I? And it's the same thing with you, Jay, as well. You wouldn't do that, would you? You wouldn't have your own personal collection, then go off to a storage unit. Surely you wouldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered. You want it all close to. Surely you want it all close to hand. Build it that quick up and just throw it in a storage unit and just be like, yeah, done. Just be done with it. No, got to enjoy it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had a storage unit space, absolutely fantastic. But then I would never be at home because I'd just be there all the time. So, no, exactly. Well, that's why, yeah. But so you've only got 4 display rooms because you literally collect 4 completely different types of lines, don't you? To a point where you've got all like Hasbro stuff, and you've got your high-end stuff, and you've got your Lego stuff, and then you've got your horror, you know, that kind of thing. So if you only collected the Lego, what you've got would be enough. With all of, if like that whole space was just a Lego room with all the tables and stuff that you've got, you're laughing. But with the amount of like sets that Jay's got to build, you would, if you sat down and just did it non-stop, not like once a week, but non-stop, you would run out of space so fast. So fast. Because surely it must get to the point for certain people that they are building sets that they've got no interest in. And they're like, oh, well, I've got no space for this. Because some people are completionists, I get it. And their displays look amazing because they've got these really big billies all the way around the outside of the room. And they've got the big city in the middle, and that looks amazing. But I would not want to build something that I've got no interest in at all.
or got no affiliation in, or something, you know, along those lines. I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't find it enjoyable. If the set looked, if the set looked great and looked like it's going to be a good building experience, and obviously that's a different that's a different debate altogether. But I wouldn't just go off and build something as fast as possible and just move on to something else and then move on to something else for, well, why? But build an underground bunker, that's not a bad shout, actually. A huge outdoor area. Because there is a fair bit of space in here. I mean, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7 IKEA tables, plus 1, 2, 3, 4 4-cube Kallaxes, no, and a double Kallax, plus this, which is much bigger than anything else. So base plate wise, there's quite a bit of space for base plates, and even still, because of the size of the sets that I've got, it eats into the space very, very quickly. And you do need a bit of breathing space for certain sets. But pass. We will see what we can do. We will see what we can do. But I would like to do that. Like a big Pokemon thing. Yeah, see, Jay's got 3 tables on top of each other stacked because he's got the ceiling height. I haven't got the ceiling height on here. But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables. 4 4-cube Kallaxes, 1 double cube Kallax, plus all of this, and then obviously the floor space, which I'm counting the base plates on. No. Jay was just saying that he now knows there's some more Pokemon sets coming out, and it's just you wouldn't do it separately. You wouldn't do it because it's part of the walkthrough, so it would still have to link. But I would like to keep the Bowser stuff in, and it merges into the Pokemon stuff, which I think the Bowser it's just really bright, colourful stuff, and I think the Bowser works really well with this. Second, I put Blastoise up against here, and you can see those two together. I think that would look really, really nice. But yeah, Jay's got tables stacked, so on 2 tables deep, stacked on top of 3 high. I think it's 3 high, and each bit is a completely different display. But I haven't got that luxury of the ceiling height. It doesn't take up much more. It doesn't take up much floor space, and then I haven't got height for a Billy bookcase in here either. So I'm literally just stuck with this height. If this was because this room's much bigger, because if you go past that green thing, it goes back, and then there's a storage crawl space, and there's another storage crawl space to the right hand side. So this room is literally twice as wide, but it's just where the roof comes down. That's what it is. So yeah, this room's big. It's a big room, but I'd say it's twice as wide. But I just take the roof off. That'd be the way to do it. Oh, what burger did you order, Reese? Come on, do teasers. What have you finally got yourself? Yeah, knock it through. But yeah, just keep going down and round. But I couldn't get anything else there. No. No. E6, 87, 287. am assuming that goes like that. And we push the pins in. Oh, we've had a pinger. Get back in there. Naughty. Come on, full penetration, please. Get in. That's one. Got one pin in. There we go. Magic. Double cheeseburger with bacon, then some cheesy chips, which more than likely has been put in a microwave. So you are brown raining it. I'll bring the golden toilet paper back out for the next live stream. That is what's going to be needed. We'll have that and the Lego head. We'll bring those two back into play for the later live stream because you lot will be using that, I am sure. Oh, yeah, there's play in there. I think that's right, but that is 100% wrong. That is definitely not the right way. I can't figure out, well, is it or not? I can't figure out what's going on with that. No, I can. Oh, balls. Oh, no. Oh, I've done the ultimate deed. I've just pushed a pin in through two Technic pins, and I've got a Lego piece behind it, and I now have to... I can't get the pin out. I have just inserted a thing upside down. So this is actually supposed to be the other way, and I've just pushed the pin in all the way through, and now there is absolutely no way, unless I just look at it for a while, that I can actually get this out. Bugger. Bugger, balls, and more balls. I need a pair of pliers. Clearly don't have them up here, do I? I don't think. Long nose pliers is what I need. Bugger. Oh, I can't believe I've done that. Can't believe I've done that. I will grab them and we'll worry about it later. I don't think... I've got tools up here, but I don't think I have those. Balls. Right, actually, because this is what it is, and it's just... It can just wait on the table. I just need to pull those two pins out, flip this the other way around, and launch them back in the hole. But because Numpty Boy has done this completely the wrong way around, because we're talking about upscaled figures, is there an upscaled figure that would work in this Miniland display, or are we just not going to bother? Because I've got Santa sat there looking at me from before, and we never got to place the Santa because I don't know really what would work. I'm trying to think of the upscaled figures, and I can't think of, because you would want something slightly different rather than trying to make it work with something else. But like the blue space is nice, but you wouldn't want that next to the other. So let's have a quick look why I have just royally balls that up. You had to connect that bit to that bit. I've got the belly. Why have I done that the wrong way around? I've got the belly the right way around, but this bit, look, I've spun around the other way, so my blue bit's facing the wrong way. So, yeah. That's not an ideal scenario. So that is literally, you've got no choice but a pair of pliers to pull that out. So with regards to the stuff on the Lego website quickly, then before we start to stop and then I get ready for the next one, what sets do we think will work in a mini land setting so we can fine tune them? Jay's just let us know that there's loads of Pokemon coming out, which then makes it a little bit more selective of what we've got to be. Of yes or no. So with the NASA stuff, I just think that works. I think that one out of all of them, I like this, but I think this is Legoland Miniland to me. This is what reminds me of it. But I now need to really think of the sizes of them. So I'm just going to do a bit of quick research for myself, and it is on the box. Kai, I did all of the Kylo shuttle and the Minecraft. Nice. Did you enjoy it, Kai? Because has anybody got this one in their collection, or has anybody seen this one built? Because I am almost sure that it is wider than it is deeper. Because if you look at the box, they've gone left to right, which is 12 inches. So that's just over a base plate, which is fine. So it will be spun round on its side. But they've measured it left to right. And I don't think that bit front to back. So I don't think the depth is as deep. So I think it's going to be a base plate by just over a base plate. So if that is the case, I will have another base plate and a half to put something beside it of a smaller scale, because that's what I'm doing with this bit over to my left. So that's how we're doing this. We're going to have this one mixed in with the Poke Center just staggered, and that's going to live just where that is. That's going to live just where that is. Might be able to get one more smaller set in here, because it just works with the scaling and it just doesn't look as busy. You can't really have that any closer than that. It just doesn't work, because these things are so big. I mean, again, if you've not actually seen the Bowser built, this is the Batmobile minifigure bike, and that's the head. So, I mean, you put it in his hat, it will literally hold it. I'm sure his bicep, I'm sure I put the arms on the wrong way around, but he would literally hold that bike. Yeah, it fits in his grip. So he could hold that no problem. So yeah, they are big sets. Reese says the little giveaway astronaut, the blue one, could potentially go beside it. I tell you what, Mew would probably work, wouldn't it? Putting Mew stood by the space thing. Obviously, it's been a space. I don't know if it'd be Mewtwo or Mew that they would do first. I know there's a couple of different space sets that they could do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at these now, going, what is a possibility of putting some others in? But the upscale minifigures, I just don't know. I to even attempt that or not with the stuff that's supposedly coming out for Pokemon. Right. So supposedly, going by the list that Jay has just sent, we have got we've got a dragon type, which is Pokedex entry 384. Is one of them. Now, let's be honest, that's the biggest one. So that's going to be lengthy. But it's flying.
It's a dragon flying. I do love a dragon. So if that's a flying type, well, this is a thing we've not even thought of. There's Killian going on about doing stuff off the ceiling. Why don't we hang all the flying Pokemon on the actual ceiling? Because there's going to be a few of them in there, surely. So we could that would help with space. But yeah, if this is supposed to be one of them, this is what Jay has done a bit of deep dive in. So take this with a pinch of salt. So that's who is then. So it's under Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, or Mega Dimension. That's all its attacks. So yeah, it came out in it was in Fire Red and Leaf Green. So well, the Pokemon stuff goes deep, doesn't it? Good grief, it goes deep. Right. What's the next? What's the next one? Oh, I know who this one. We all know who this one is. This isn't a. This is original first two seasons. 59. This one is from the Fire. So this one looks great. So this was in red, blue, and yellow. So Jay would have played with this one. That's not going to be a huge one. But again, that looks nice. This one, if required, this one could just stand. And again, going by the brick count of what they're supposed to be, it's still going to be a big one. And then the other one. So again, pinch of salt is it's a different variation of Snorlax then, is what the next one is. It's from the new generations. It's a big high number Pokemon. It's a big eater Pokemon. Abilities: pick up, thick fat. Imagine one of your abilities is just because you're fat. Oh, that's funny. So high friendship with Snorlax and Munchlax. What is Snorlax? Is that the pre-evolved? Is that what they're saying on that? Because it's Snorlax. Does it now go Munchlax Snorlax? Is that what they're saying? I'm assuming that's what it is. Because they just added more and more and more in over the period of time, didn't they? Well, there we go. So I wonder if they're going to give us a Snorlax as well. Yeah, that's it. They all ring a bell to me. They all ring a bell, but this one I couldn't because it's the number 446. Obviously, it's much newer one. But yeah, going by the evolution chart, if that's what it's supposed to be, then it goes that one to Snorlax, which makes sense because it's the same color. It's just how it originally happened. If you remember, obviously you can see it. Like Snorlax was 143 out of the 150 original Pokemon, but it's not. It goes by the original 150 that they knew about, not the original 150 of how it actually works. So as they found more and more of them, they didn't update the Pokedex, did they? They just added them on. So because Snorlax was captured end of series 2 is what that one was. But yeah, so
let's go through those three. So there's that one and that one. Ooh. And then, of course, there's the Eevee and Pikachu. So there's 5. There's 5 of them in there. Yeah, that's it. It'd be that sort of. It literally just wants to be like a game. That's what I'm trying. That's all I want to do. It's a mini land walkthrough, like it would be on the Game Boy. That's what it will be. And it's either going to have to, but we're going to have to get a pattern. It's either going to have to go up in a straight line and then come back, and then come back up, and then come back, because that's how the game goes. Because the game doesn't just fork off about in 10 different directions, does it? You've got like a dead end way where you could literally have a path to nowhere and there'd be another Pokemon there, and then you've got to come back on yourself to carry on. So it's not going to be like 2 perfectly straight lines, but it's almost like, one of those mazes that you get stuck in, and you literally can only go one way to another. That's the kind of thing. No, Mario Maze, yeah, that's the kind of thing. But it just needs to be. The path goes up, it comes back down, and then it goes back up, and then you could go left, but there's a Pokemon that blocks there. Go right, so on, back through. Cool way of using the hammers and bag too. Yes, it is Thor's hammer across the base. Very nice. Yeah. So that is Thor's hammer for you. So it's a good use of that part element. Absolutely. So yeah, these 4 tables could easily be that sort of thing, and it would just be a little zigzag here and there. So it's not going to be perfectly straight, because you could literally go up. There's no curves either in the game, don't forget. So it means I don't need any curved pieces. So you'd have like 10 studs forward, 3 across, forward, more, blah, 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 blah. And then the path will go straight to the front of it, have a bench, look at the model, move on. That's exactly what I want to do. That's exactly what I want to do. So I was going to zigzag the path around all of these anyway. That's how this was going to work. So it comes in front, goes around Pikachu, and then over that way. But we could literally go all the way to the back, all the way back through, and then just go from there. And if we did that, you would just have to figure out what went where. I still think you could get away with 1 or 2 of the Mario stuff there, and then that might have to get taken away at a later date. But just with those 5, you're going to eat into the space quite quickly. It's not going to fill it up this year, but you're definitely going to need some. Definitely going to need some space, because they're going to be doing more. They're going to be doing more later on. Well, Jay knows that I was very excited for the Sonic, because I grew up playing Sonic. I didn't play Mario. I was Sega, and the only game I played for Game Boy was Pokemon. They did the Lego Ideas set, left the pins on the side, and I was like, I'd just make the next level, make the next one, just that scale, and I was going to connect all of them up as a theme park display. And then they reset it as the children's play sets, which is obviously perfectly fine. Doesn't work in this setting, so no. So if they basically do Mario like they've done the Sonic, then no, because then it's just not the right thing. So because I think they're going to do Mario like the Sonic, which is selling really well with amazing minifigures, but they're just like the Lego City stuff, which doesn't work. It just doesn't work in here because of the scales of stuff that I've got. If it was a completely standalone thing, like a separate table, then yeah, I could easily make it work with its own way in and own way out. But no, if they did like the equivalent of supposedly this Pokeball set for Mario when they had the minifigures in, then yeah, I could try and make that work. Like the cube dangling off the ceiling, I've always thought would be a nice thing to have. But yeah, you just have to if they do the larger stuff, then there's very much a potential you could do a Mario, because they've obviously got it at Universal. But then that would be with a roller coaster, and then those models then get used in a completely different way. Whereas this is just a walk-through mini-land at the moment. So yeah, the cube would probably dangle off the ceiling. So yeah, there's a couple of things to think of. Right, guys, I'm going to get some food. We're back on at 8 o'clock, and we are looking at all of the sets that are in sales, and obviously going over all the new stuff first. And I am using the fancier software for that one, so it's already been set up. So if you guys and girls want to carry on talking to yourself for a little bit, the other thing's already set up, so you guys and girls can carry on talking away. I'll end the poll now. I am cold and I am hungry, so I'm going to warm up, get some munch, and then in 1 hour we will be carrying on with the research bits and pieces. Tomorrow and over the weekend we'll get this pretty much. Well, I'd say we definitely get that one done, and then we'll see where we're at with Charizard Shaft. So I will catch up with all of you very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.